John, sometimes I think our pre-show before we actually start this podcast is way more fun than the actual podcast. I just think to myself, man, an uncensored podcast of ours would be probably too raunchy for any social media platform sometimes. And I can't hear you, John. You're muted.
YouTube would get rid of us pretty quick.
Probably.
I'm not big on community standards. So.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the SeeWDW Near and Far Podcast Parks and Socials edition for the week of 2/3/24, where we're going to talk to John about his week in the parks. Just to let everyone know, we were going to do an Epcot episode, but John really brought up a good point. We weren't really prepared for it, and it probably wasn't the time to do it. So we're going to prepare a little bit better, and we're going to put something together for everyone, like a really cool episode, and maybe just do those types of more timeless episodes less frequently with more research and you know, better facts and opinions, and less like a college professor, I guess you'd say, right, John? Wouldn't you say? So that's what we have going for us in the future here. So we discussed that a little bit pre-podcast, but in any case, John, we met about middle of January. So since the middle of January, I think our last episode was like the 18th. So since then, how has it gone in the parks for you?
Well, I've been only a handful of times, weirdly enough. My first visit was a trip to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And I have to say, when I first moved here in 2017, the pattern that I picked up on was summers were light. Starting in September, it actually got busier. October, November, December, busy. January and February, very busy. And it seems like we're back to that now because, there's always an excuse. There's always it's a 3-day weekend and now it's the marathon and whatever. I was at the parks yesterday and the lines were outrageous, and it was February 2nd. It's not anything. There's nothing's being celebrated, and just February. And it was like that in 2017 and 2016 when I was going. I'm like, well, I'm going to go in the off season. So I'm going to go the end of January and the beginning of February. And I would do it. And I would be like, this is more crowded than I've ever seen it. So I think we're back to normal patterns again, which means summer is going to be my favorite time at the parks, probably. But so anyway, I went to Hollywood Studios, and the main reason I went here was to get my wife the new Hollywood Studios Starbucks mug. And I can honestly say I did not even look at it. And Amazon won't let me zoom in on photos. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
that's
old
the reason
Amazon.
I went there. Yeah, stock price keeps going up there, so it's a good thing. I went to Hollywood Studios. I did a little bit of recording, just recorded walking around a little bit. I got my Starbucks mug. The lines were outrageous, so I'm like, well, I'm going to go out and record my walk to Epcot. So part of it was exercise at this point. So I did a walk I've done many times, but I walked from Hollywood Studios to Epcot by way of the Epcot resorts and cutting through the boardwalk. And it was a little over an hour, a little over what was it, 23 minutes, I think, and it was 1.2 miles. So like 23 minutes, 24 minutes, but not a bad. Actually, I have it right here. 23 minutes, 1.18 miles. That's what it takes. And a lot of people, I post this kind of thing, and they said, "Oh, the Skyliner, that's not better and stuff." I've taken the Skyliner, and I'm pretty sure I could walk to Epcot quicker. There's a very good chance if you were getting on the Skyliner and I was walking, we both left Hollywood Studios. If everything went perfectly, you might get there first, but there's a very good chance I'll get there first because when I was at that retro WDW thing, I had the smart idea to try to save some time, and I did take the Skyliner once, and it ended up taking even longer. There was a couple delays, there was some lines, a little bit of holdups, a couple of stops for no reason, and it ended up taking about 10 minutes longer than walking. So time-wise, I really do think walking is better. And as far as Disney goes, I mean, you already do a lot of walking there. 1 mile really doesn't make much difference in your day. Yeah, one of those white birds came out as I was walking by. I always like those birds. They're pretty, but they're also, they go around and they eat lizard and stuff. So it's they're not the nicest birds. But I did want to mention the cake place is still coming soon. The cake bake shop. And it
So
looks,
that's
I think I was gonna say it looks exactly like it did, like I don't know, years ago now. They're they're working on it. I think all these guys left and went to Epic Universe. So. There's nobody working.
well, I was going to say, I think they started working on that. It started when I stayed at the boardwalk the one time, and we're probably talking like we're almost getting up to 3 years now. So, in the summer, it'll be 3 years.
I don't think anything else ever opened up. I don't think ESPN Club ever opened back up after the shutdown. So that's
I think you're right.
It's going on 5 years now, or 4 years, that just nothing. And the sad thing about that is I don't even like sports. Like, I don't watch any sports, but I've eaten at ESPN Club before. Good normal food, which is hard to find at the boardwalk. There's not. Like, where do you go to get normal American fare at a sit-down place? It's like, not really at the boardwalk. That's not really a thing. It's not, and I know there are a lot of people that do like sports, and Disney owns ESPN, and I knew of many people that I vacationed with and knew that went on vacation that would go to ESPN Club as where they can go to watch their football game or watch their whatever they want to watch. They'll go, have dinner and or some drinks and enjoy it. I thought it was very popular. Again, I don't watch any sports, but most people do. And I thought there was a need for that, Like, I thought that was a popular place for, the dads and it's to go. And again, I feel like what we were talking about before the podcast, they're getting rid of all the little oasis parts for the dads to give them a rationalization as to why it's good vacation for them too. And that was probably one of them, not for me, because I'm not into it, but I have a feeling there's a lot of dads out there that are going to be like, that was the one place I could go. The sports bar and feel like I escaped, cartoon world for a while. But anyway, just a thought. Then I went to Epcot. Epcot, this is Sunday, the 21st. I figured a random Sunday, it shouldn't be too bad to walk around Epcot. My goodness, it was so crowded that I could not even. It was so crowded that I could not even see the art for the most part. Like I couldn't even get in to look at the pictures, um, which, which is unbelievable. And then I ordered another Figment popcorn bucket, and that's done by pre-order. And the funny thing about that was the line was completely empty, meaning there was nobody there to get this popcorn bucket, where before the line was out the door. So I do think they got more than enough popcorn buckets at this point. Unlike the old Figment one where they underestimated it, they probably overestimated this particular one. So I picked up a popcorn bucket. And then the next thing I wanted to do was get the Epcot Starbucks mug. And I went into Starbucks first to get it. And it turns out they don't sell the mugs at Epcot inside the Starbucks. So I had to go to the Creation Shop to pick up the Starbucks mug. So just weird how it works differently at different parks. So at Epcot, you won't find this mug in the Starbucks. It'll be in Creation Shop next door, and you can just check out with it. And the annual pass discount did apply for it too. So two weird things. Like I said, the park was completely filled. There was nobody in line for the popcorn bucket, and there was no line to get your picture with Walt. There was some people there, but just one group, and I kind of walked by. Um, that's weird. That didn't last long either. So Walt is sitting by himself. People got over that quick, and the popcorn bucket. So then it was Sunday, so I decided to ride Spaceship Earth. And I know you can't see it. It said 15 minutes. It probably was a little bit longer than 15 minutes. So, I literally had to wait probably about 20 minutes to ride Spaceship Earth. So, and again, I always enjoy Spaceship Earth, but man, you can really feel when the parks are crowded. Let's see. From there, I looked at a little bit of the artwork. This is a 3D art of Wall-E. Um, Not my favorite 3D. Like I found it hard to picture that one, like what it's supposed to be. And let's see. From there, I basically walked back, but this time I walked back by way of the beach club. So that I'm going to do a video about how to get to Beaches and Cream from Epcot, because they have a outside window there. So I thought that would be good, because a lot of people don't know. You can go out International Gateway and just kind of zip right over. Let's see. And from there, I basically just went back to Hollywood Studios and went home. So it was more of an exercise day for me than anything else. Again, it was a nice walk. You can see some of the sun. You can see some of the sunset as I'm walking back. So it was mainly an exercise trip and a get my wife Starbucks mugs. So I go to Disney so much that it's good to have a goal when you're going there. But I wanted to point out to you, because you might have missed it, that the popcorn bucket,
Yeah.
there was absolutely nobody in line for the popcorn bucket.
Wow.
I ordered it. I got there at 3 o'clock, and nobody was in line in front of me. Completely empty line. The people just standing there, and I found that odd. I'm like, the park was so full that I couldn't even look at artwork. I waited over 20 minutes for Spaceship Earth. It was just uncomfortably packed, but nobody was getting the popcorn bucket. And there was one group getting pictures with Walt. There was no line. So I think Walt's going to end up sitting by himself.
It certainly would appear that way.
And I think they're going to have extra popcorn buckets. So it was completely full. But anyway, I just wanted to point that stuff out. January 23rd, which I don't know what day of the week that is. I think like a Tuesday.
That was Tuesday. That was my birthday, actually. So Tuesday.
Right. So on Tuesday, I went to the Festival of the Arts with my wife. And, we kind of came up with a plan on how to get these things recorded better. So she would kind of go in first, clear it out. Then I would go in and try to do a little bit of recording. It's still not long, but just it's so hard to get the recordings of stuff because there's always people in the way. But, I got a lot of the artwork for people. I figured I can make some videos for people that won't be going. They can see a little bit of it, like what was available there. I always liked Scrooge McDuck, but you definitely can't dive in the money like that, though.
That's some pretty cool stuff.
A lot of good artwork. It's a shame that this one is over so quickly, but what I noticed this year is a lot of times my wife and I will buy something every year, and we didn't even talk about it this year. I think because some of the prices on a lot of this stuff were just absolutely crazy. Like there was a couple things she liked, and it was like, oh, this is $18,000. It'd be like, oh, well, my car costs 10. I think that might be out of my range, But really nice pictures, though. But again, just a lot of. I feel like it got a lot more expensive even than it was before, So as we start getting paid more money from inflation and everything, and then you feel like you're making better money, but then now the cost of everything went back up drastically. So yeah, I guess art is part of it because I thought maybe I could afford this art now, making more money. It's like, well, nah. It went up accordingly. So
yep, totally with you. Like the company I work for, we got like all kinds of incentives this past year, but like you said, everything's gone up. So
yeah, I feel like I'm
really,
making more
didn't
money.
really. Yeah, it looks like it on your paycheck, right? Or what's deposited into your account. Yeah. Looks like it, but
the cost of everything else went up just as much, if not more. So I still don't have any money, but someday.
Yeah.
But probably not. Either way. So yeah, I did do an awful lot of videotaping of the art festival. I won't bore you with all of it, but definitely some good stuff mixed in there. Trying to think. This is.
I love that. I love that picture. I've seen that picture before. Of course, Amazon's messing you up here. But yeah, I love that picture so much.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I didn't see that one before. And I like some of these too. They have maps of the parks. I thought that was cool. For me, park-related art goes a lot further. Like I have a World Showcase painting in my bedroom. It's Gary McAuliffe did it, and it's a big one too. And it's the World Showcase with the Illuminations globe out front. So. And I did meet him a year or two ago. I stopped and talked to him, And it was at the time when all the barges were there. I said, "Are you going to update this with these new barges?" And he looked at me and just said, he didn't say anything because, but now he's not updating it with that. I thought
Yeah.
that was funny that he just said,
I mean, he wasn't a fan of the temporary show. I understand. Neither was I.
the permanent temporary.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the artwork is pretty good. Some of it I don't like that much, but again, I did not buy anything yet this year. I'm not saying I won't, but just very expensive. I feel like I liked this artist's work. I forget his name. He does black and white photos, like the.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
My dog woke up, so she's still coughing a lot. So if I know my dog, she's gonna come in here right behind me and cough. That'll be the best place for it. But yeah, a lot of good artwork. But we didn't do a lot else. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't think we went on any rides. No, we didn't go on any rides. We just looked at the artwork. We walked through the middle section again, or at least I did. My wife didn't even bother. So this is what you're missing, Mike. You got to get down to it.
Emptiness. And photo pass photographers in your way. So you can't take your own picture without, Yeah, that would just anger me. That's all.
And this planter's real nice. It's got flowers in it and everything.
Yeah. I don't know. They're making, from what I just saw the other day, they've finally figured a way out to monetize that empty space. They're going to make it a wedding thing, so you can actually have your wedding there.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, they're going to dress it all up and do all this kind of stuff around having a wedding there. So
and they'll block out the people who paid to get in the park. That's perfect.
I guess.
Double the money.
Hey, you got to do something. I mean, that they got rid of that, what is it, the festival pavilion or that pavilion thing or whatever. And so they've got to monetize the center of the park somehow, I guess.
That would have been a good wedding spot. But
yeah, it would have been. You're right. That would have been.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. But that was canceled.
Yeah.
Saving money. But anyway, there's a new Beacon of Magic with Figment and Dreamfinder, like singing the imagination song and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's more colorful than, they just keep using Dreamfinder. They got rid of him on purpose years ago. Like officially, they're like, he's gone. He's not coming back. I don't know why, but they did. And they keep bringing him back for this. I don't know. But anyway, it looked really pretty, though. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks nice. I really like that. I mean, that's a highlight of going to Epcot, right? I mean, that's better than the show at night.
It is. I didn't stay for that. I left after I saw the new Beacon of Magic.
I would have done the same thing.
That's about it for that one. I do want to touch. I didn't go, but my wife and my daughter's friend went to Hollywood Studios, and I'll just relay their experience a little bit. My daughter and daughter's friend work at Universal, so they did mention the rudeness of the cast members. They had to make mention of, man, they can't believe how they act and talk to people. Like I'll give you a little bit of a couple of things that happened. My wife has a hybrid Jeep, So she can plug it in, but she's never plugged it in at Disney because they never have anything available. But she did ask going in, she said, is there anything available? And they said, ask the next person. The next person did not want to talk to her. It's just going like making faces, like angry that, and anyway, there wasn't anything. But then I guess when she walked by, there was, but they were just very, very short about it. Like very, not Disney about it, not nice. And then my wife went to guest services to get her pass updated because when they gave it to her, they didn't have the right. They just gave her an empty card, so she had to kept using her old pass, which had the right copy on. But anyway, when she was there, she said she had reservations for sci-fi, and she had reservations for 2, but now she has 3. And she said, "Is that you think that's going to be a problem? Can you adjust it in the system or see if anything's available? Because guest services usually has better access to that kind of thing." And she said, "It's not going to be a problem. Don't worry about it. Happens all the time. They're not going to mind." And so they went, and to Sci-Fi, they had to wait. They waited 40 minutes when they got there. Like, that's a long time. You have a reservation for a time and you wait 40 minutes. And then after 40 minutes, they came out and said, "Party of 2?" And they said, "We told you 3 when we checked in here." And then they said, "Oh, well." Then they went back and didn't come out again for a while. And then they came out and got them. And then they proceeded to put all 3 of them in one row.
Oh my goodness.
So that's 3 people in one row. And they were in the middle, so they had strangers in front of them, strangers in the back, and they're all pushed in. And the waiter said, "Oh, do you want me to put you somewhere so we can give you the right, not crowd you like that?" And my daughter's friend said she saw the woman that seated them shake her head at the guy and mouth no, like telling him no, like don't offer that. And it's like, it just seemed really weird, like normally if you have 3, they don't fill up the picnic tables in the back. So you end up there. They save them for walk-ups and, things like that. So, and then, my daughter and her friend each got a milkshake. They said the milkshakes were terrible, and they were both completely different than each other. They both got the same milkshake, didn't even taste the same, like not even close. And it's like they didn't know what the hell they're doing back there. My wife, who usually loves the food there, said the fries were soggy and like not right. And it's like, I always tell people the burger and fry is good there. At least just stick with that, you'll be fine. It'll be decent.
Mm-hmm.
The burger was still fine, but the milkshakes were off, the fries weren't that great, and the service was just kind of very, very, very slow. Again, they just threw them all in one row, and they said, just like the other place, the waiter and stuff just not friendly at all. Like the service is just getting worse and worse. Like the people are just, the cast members are just not. And in my mind, that's exactly what happens when you tell your cast members you're special, you count. It's all about you, and then people come in and want them to wait on them. Like it's like, well, freak, not me. What about me? I'm not doing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a service attitude to tell people it's all about you. Express yourself. We're worried about you. You need to do it. It's like, that's what Disney's been telling them for a while now, and it shows because they get real annoyed with these customers messing with their day. They're trying to express themselves and be their best selves. It's like, not good. So yeah, the whole Disney service thing. The experience was from my daughter and her friend who don't go very often. Service at Disney is just going downhill greatly. Then I that makes me not even want to go to sci-fi. That's one of my favorite places to eat, but I don't know. So anyway, we did. I just wanted to touch on that because again, usually when I go to sci-fi, it's good. I never have any problems, but you know. And I was going to say, here's some concept art from the new Epic universe that came out this week. This is Universal's concept art. This is the entryway. So the entryway is going to be a portal too, and that's Celestial Park. Very retro, steampunk, but not quite.
Almost like a World's Fair is what it kind of reminds me of, you know?
This reminds me of something that Disney would have made back in the day when they were firing on all cylinders. And again, each land has their own entry portals, and it looks like it's going to be fantastic. I'm sure most people have seen it already. This is one of the restaurants. It's going to be in Celestial Park. This is the one, the Atlantic. That just reminds me of like an old BioShock game or something, you know, like a futuristic, old but new, over the top themed restaurant, the Atlantic, and looking right out over water with falls around and stuff. It's like, this is something like the theming is over the top, and that's what I love. And I'm just glad. I wish Disney would do it again, but I'm just glad that Universal is not afraid to theme things anymore. Disney's going to forgettable theming, and they are going to over the top theming. And again, this looks like an unbelievable park. Like, just this looks like just great, and it looks timeless already too. It's like this could be today or 50 years from now. I think it's going to look great. So whoever thought of all that stuff, probably former Imagineers who now work at Universal Creative, at least for this project, they're it's going to be cool. You know, it really is. So, and here's the werewolf roller coaster. It's testing. See it come in over here.
Oh wow!
This is the kind of coaster they're going to have at Universal now. It moves, like it tilts and stuff, but it's not an extreme coaster, but it's going to be a fun coaster combined with effects and other things, like in the building. Like, it doesn't start in this building. The building's going to be where something happens, you know, that's going to make it fun. See how it goes through a couple times, and then it ends up taking off again. It gets a little boost, but I think lighter coasters are going to be popular because not everybody wants an extreme coaster that loops 80 times and you black out from G-forces.
Yeah.
Normal people, like, think about your family. You might be able to get your wife and kids to go on this one. So, cool coaster. I like the look of it. And let's see, yesterday, this is a real simple one. Went to Animal Kingdom, looked at some new merch. Here's my favorite. Didn't really do too much. This is the one where I said I went there. I always say the last 2 hours are the best at Animal Kingdom, but yesterday they closed the safari at 5:15. And so that kind of threw a damper in my plans because that's part of it. The safari is walk-on by the end of the day. Sunsets at 6:07. So I was like, man, sunset safaris are the best. The animals are all active. It's great. But now they closed it. So, you know, I guess they'll save money on staffing by just shutting it down, because instead of having one thing there with no line, everything else, Dinosaur was like an hour, Everest was 40 minutes. Avatar stuff, not even thinkable. Like, I wouldn't even try to do that. But so we ended up waiting for Everest. Took about 30 minutes, which is really weird. It's February 2nd. The park's going to close in 30 minutes, and it's still a big line. Like, that is just weird. Like, really weird. On the plus side, my wife got a pretzel. It was fresh and tasty. So that's nice. Sometimes those things can be stale. So
Yeah.
worked out well. Beyond that, not an eventful thing. Kind of a very disappointing trip to Animal Kingdom. But that is about it, though, for my week at the parks.
Wow. So it's that service thing that you mentioned about, customer service. If you look across Reddit, there's a lot of stuff about this happening. It's becoming more and more common. And then there's a certain segment of people on Reddit that just shout it down, and like, it gets pretty argumentative, and it just becomes a whole thing until a mod steps in and shuts the whole thing down. So I think it's a shame that we live in a society where people can't speak their mind about stuff now without someone blowing a gasket. Like, if I have a problem with customer service, I don't typically say anything, I just don't go back. But if I'm a passionate person about theme parks and about Disney, I'm going to go back, but I'm also going to say something. And on this podcast alone, you and I have both talked about good experiences, really good experiences, and really bad experiences at those parks. So I don't think there's anything wrong with expressing disappointment in the lack of service or the downgrading service, especially given the fact that your wife used to work for Disney. She went through the whole training.
She saw the rapid decline once they reopened after the shutdown. She doesn't talk about it much anymore, but at first she couldn't stop saying, "You can't do that. That's not you're not allowed to do that. Look, they're grouped together talking. They have their phones out. They're not." When she wasn't busy at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, she couldn't even sit down. She would stand behind her chair and be ready for whatever. When that next customer came in, you're on, be ready. Stand there and be ready. Yeah. Now the cast members are, and again, imagine being told you're important. It's all about you. It's important that you are comfortable. You express yourself. We love you. You're the best. It's like, eventually you're going to be like, yeah, I am. And why are these customers bothering me? It's about me. What about me? My day. It's like, if you're in a service job, you worry about you after work. That's it. That's when you're important. You're on stage before that. And Walt Disney himself probably would fire 90% of these people at this point and say, you can't be like this. But again, the way it used to be, now these people would be like, "Oh, what do you think? You own us? You can't tell me any." It's like, I just don't know if the level of service they used to have is compatible with the current kids. The kids grew up.
I mean, that might be part of the problem, is that they had to change because of the amount of money that they pay them, because of the environment around the Orlando area and how you have to live if you decide to go work for Disney. Perhaps that's part of it, because there's no way you're going to get high quality employees like you used to get when it was affordable to live in Central Florida, right? So, and really their, salary boosts haven't really gone up that much. No. And, I mean, and so we talk about, and part of me always says, "Oh, someone's complaining about their salary again." I mean, for the amount of customers that come in front, pass in front of these people, and the kind of experience you're expected to give to these people, I don't know, maybe they should be paying more. I mean, looking at Robert Iger's salary, for him basically what it seems like messing up the company, or Bob Chapek before him.
They sure paid the Hollywood people enough.
They sure do.
Did you notice the budgets on every single TV show and movie they do are so out of control?
Yeah.
It's like episode of a TV show costs more than movies used to cost. But so that's what I think. Iger's a movie guy, and he makes sure him and his movie buddies are rolling in cash. And Parks, it's like, yeah, who cares? So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I'm not advocating for like going after cast members or anything, but what I am advocating for is bring in a more permanent, customer service base and pay them more money for a higher quality of service. And you won't have some of these issues. Instead, what they do is they put these college kids, they just increase the size of the college program continuously, even creating like housing for them and things like that, which they still have to pay for, by the way. And
I was going to say the college program that should be against the law. How little they end up keeping.
This is what they're
just. That's a bad thing. That's not.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure, but
I don't think anyone regrets doing the college program. It's just that you can't turn that into a career, and I think some of them probably think they can. They are.
Money-wise, you're being advantaged of greatly. Like you are.
But it's also why
exploited.
And it is. You're right, but it's also why the level of customer service is probably on the decline because of that, and that's a big part of it. And the other thing is the training, just like your wife had mentioned, the training isn't the same. So I just feel like it's a complicated issue, but there is definitely a decline in customer service. I've noticed it. I noticed trash cans full all over the place. I've noticed cast members wheeling trash cans on stage and, talking about their dates and the weekend on stage. That never happened before.
Yesterday, everywhere I went in Animal Kingdom, big carts with squeaky wheels going.
Yeah.
We're just going in all directions. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this was a problem that was addressed, 40, 50 years ago. But
it's crazy how that happens.
They won't even stop the squeaking wheels. They just do such a.
And it even happens during the fireworks shows. Like at Epcot, it's really notorious. They do it towards the front of the park all the time during the evening shows. I mean, it's just bizarre what's happening. But
I'm not going to play the sound, but I just wanted to show you, in case you didn't see it, a little bit of the Celestial Park. Like, to me, they said they're bringing the park back to theme park, meaning this is going to be a sophisticated, classy feel of a park too. So, and I think there is going to be a few rides there, like the coaster and stuff. A hotel's going to be right on the edge, but to me, I really, like I said, this feels like you're inside of a video game theme. I think BioShock Infinite came to mind. Like this could be part of that game. And I really like that theme. But I thought that was a pretty cool like fly through they do of it,
I love the fact that they've taken the carousel concept and they've taken it. It's not a traditional carousel.
I have to say too.
Now, guide, everything was behind there for a minute.
Oh yeah, that's what I was waiting for, the catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, just to me, this looks so nice. And from what my my daughter and her friend were saying, Universal was never known for their great customer service or anything, but at this point, they may be better than what Disney's doing, which is crazy. That never used to be the case, where Disney's declined so much that Universal feels like it's a step above. They like they would get fired for the stuff that the Disney employees have been doing. So just
On
weird. I just
my last trip there, I definitely would agree with that. I would say that my experience, I had a good experience on my last trip at Epcot. I will say that, for the most part. I mean, the way they handled the queue and the soaring over California was a little iffy. But as far as like the way my interactions with cast members, it was great. But the Universal team members were unbelievable on that trip, just unreal. So I don't know whether it's a point of pride now for them or what the deal is or what has changed, if anything. I don't know, but
I know one Universal employee that was, I'm pretty sure he quit, but he was a bus driver for Disney for a long time. And he's posts stuff online all the time about how much he loves Universal and he loves the people there, and he has nothing good to say about Disney. I can tell you that. He basically, and again, he worked for Disney for a long time, and he could definitely see the difference too. So, and it is kind of a pride thing too. Like Universal was looked down on for so long, and a lot of them now are like, we are a real park, and a lot of the team members, the ones that are there, that plan to make a career of it at least, are like, Universal's better. We're going to be bigger, better. We're gonna destroy this mouse. We're gonna do a great. Like they do take pride in it. Where, you know.
I gotta tell you, my experience hasn't been like that with their team members though. Like I've discussed this with some of their team members, particularly at the hotels, about their relationship with Disney and stuff. And I always get this, well, we work together sometimes, and we do this and we do that. And I will even say that some of the cast members that work at Disney, they moonlight in the fall over there, some of them for horror nights. So, I mean, you do see some, cross pollination, so to speak, between the two companies, and they do work together at times. But I can definitely feel there is a rivalry starting to develop now a little more intensely. They definitely have they have a product now that's growing and growing successfully. So.
Well, this is their big run and trying to not overtake Disney because they're just so much bigger, but really take market share and just shift some over. And based on what Epic is looking like, that is definitely going to happen. And based on anecdotal talk from normal people, like in my work life and stuff, nobody ever even heard. Normal people have not even heard of Epic Universe yet, and they still have been loving Universal. And like I told you, I was at a work event, and almost everyone I talked to, I said, "Oh yeah, I live 30 minutes to Universal or Disney." Almost every one of them said, "I love Universal. Oh, I want to go there." Disney, I had one person say that, So again, it used to be the opposite, and that's anecdotal. It doesn't mean anything, but to me, I noticed things like that. So it's not showing in the park crowds, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You're right. I mean, they're breaking records every day now, even in the supposed, like you said, quote unquote, off season. So, which, even cast members say there's no off season anymore. So,
well, summer.
Maybe 2 weeks in August, at the end of August. Oh man. All right, John, how did your social media go during this last couple of weeks?
It's been going all right. I'm up to 155,000 on Disney. I think 152,000 on Universal. Nothing real nothing really breaking out. It's all been pretty standard. Like I'm held in a pattern, but again, it's fine. I really have been concentrating on it. I can say I'm up to 102,000 on Facebook, and that's a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah.
But just like Instagram, once I hit 100,000, I was getting like 1,000 a day, and all of a sudden it dropped to like 100 a day if I'm lucky. Like the growth stopped drastically at 100,000. So I don't know why that is, but again, I didn't think I'd even get to 100,000. So when I hit like 80, I'm like, wow, that's a high number. I didn't think I'd get that high. And then when it started going up, I was like, well, if I get to 100, I'm not gonna complain after that. So here I am, not complaining. That's pretty goddamn good, or gosh darn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and my yeah, I was gonna say I gotta.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Those numbers.
my TikTok is at 249,000, so almost
Wow.
250. That's been pretty steady too, honestly. It's not been growing a lot, but it has its upticks and then down and upticks, and it's like it's been steadily going up, and I'm happy with it. It's not it's not breaking any records or anything, but 250,000 is good. I was going to say my Universal, I'm up to 17,000 on my Facebook. So I'm trying to grow the Facebook on that because that's the thing that pays me the most. So I'm like, if I can, I know my Disney Facebook is going to come down again, and it is. I think it's down like 62% from last month. So they never let you go up too high without knocking you down. But my thought is if I could average Universal and Disney Facebook at a certain level, that could be good money. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do it with my Universal yet, but I'm hoping that I can. 17,000 is good, but I mean, I think I made like $12 this month from stuff there, but the month before I made like 12 cents. So it's going up. That's a big increase. So, I'm not unhappy with it. So anyway, been concentrating on Facebook, but now that's slowing down again. So I'll probably get back to complaining until something pops again.
Whatever the next thing is, right?
Yeah, maybe I'll have a few weeks of cursing all of them, and then
Yeah.
something will pop. Hopefully, maybe someday YouTube will pop. So
Could be.
if
Maybe
the
that's the next one because that's the one that hasn't done it yet.
if the YouTube algorithm is listening, you're the only one that's not popped to give me big views. So you don't want to miss out, do you?
You have incredible content on YouTube, so there's no reason why you couldn't make money on it.
Yeah, it would be nice, but yeah, it's the one thing that I never was able to do. But we'll see. I have a new iMac. I'm learning to edit. Maybe I'll be able to do something. I don't know. I think I might have to buy one of those expensive cameras, and then maybe that'll be it. Like that guy Craig at the Diz. I'd like to get a camera like his. He records like the fireworks, and then he has a good. But I'm not going to get the spot that he gets. Though. That's the only problem. I'll be behind a group of drunk college kids. You won't even be able to hear the fireworks. So.
Yeah.
I need media access just for that. I need a good spot to put my tripod to put new fireworks shows up so it's captured properly. So
The problem is, unlike Craig and the other ones, you actually let the content speak for itself. Imagine that. The stuff that they actually have created, you let that speak for itself instead of putting your big face on the front of the camera like all of them.
I think he does a lot of just capturing stuff on YouTube.
He does.
I don't watch a lot of it, but I know he typically will record like the fireworks and stuff and just by themselves. So usually.
Yeah. He's very honestly, I think he is overwhelmingly talented And people don't get that about him. Like his eye for stuff, his knack for technology, he doesn't even see his talent for communication and everything. And I honestly think if it wasn't for him keeping that going over the last couple of years,
Yeah, they probably wouldn't even be around if Craig wasn't there.
they wouldn't right now. That's for sure. After all that stuff that happened with them, so
Yeah, he is a good guy.
yeah.
I've talked to him a few times. Although the last time I saw him and Rhino at the Magic Kingdom, I started, I was joking with him because the park was closed
Mm.
and they were still filming a snack segment. And I think I said something like, "Wow, you're working overtime tonight. Park's closed and you're still going." Like I was just joking. And I didn't say, "Hey, I'm John from SeeWDW." You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
didn't. Craig didn't even look up at me. He's just like looking down, like, yeah, he wasn't real. Rhino was still nice. He just kind of was like, "Ha, yeah, you know."
Yeah,
But
he seems like a nice kid.
I think they were
You know,
tired. It was probably a
yeah,
long night, but I
yeah.
was just every once in a while, if I see them, I would talk to them because I've talked to Craig multiple times in the past. So,
Well, the big news flash in that whole thing, though, John, is how did you make it to park closing?
well, because I told my wife we were going to be there. It was a party night at, I think, the Christmas party, and I said we're going to be here. She still tried to get me to leave before closing. I think and Peter Pan broke down when we were on it, so we ended up there after midnight because I was like, "Well, we can do one more ride yet," because she's always trying to get me to change my mind and say, "Oh, yeah, we should just leave." It's like I told her before, I'll come myself if I have to. But I'd rather not. I definitely would rather her be with me. She always wants to get out early. And I know why. She has to get up early the next day. It's a long
Yeah,
night.
I understand that.
But I warned her. I'm like, I need to get everything I can get while I'm here because it's a lot of money to do. So,
Gotcha.
but anyway, yeah, I am tempted to buy a camera like Craig someday, but I need to learn editing skills a little better first because I can't learn a camera and how to do it at the same time. I'm too old to learn that much at once. So I'm learning small amounts of editing from my friend in Hawaii has been helping me out with stuff, as needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm learning that first, and then if I can afford it, I might spend $5,000 to $7,000 on a camera, which just doesn't seem worth it because that same camera cost $5,000 to $7,000 like 5 years ago. It's like doesn't technology go down in price? Like TVs and everything do. The camera, it's like the certain camera. I forget what it is, like a Sony GS7 or S or something like that. I think it's the same one Craig uses too. They just never go down in price. And I'm like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, shouldn't I get a new model of something? It's like,
I don't know. I'm,
I don't know.
all I would say is if it's for your own kind of curiosity, your own thing, that's one thing. But it's probably not going to drive any more viewers to your channel if you think about it. They don't look at your channel for that reason, right?
Well, that's exactly what my friend in Hawaii told me. He said, before you spend all this money, he said, look where you're at without
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Do you need it? It's like, I don't, but I don't know. I think there is another level you can get to with it, though. So,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
might. But again, I'm going to learn, by the time I get it, I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
I don't like how heavy they are either. The big mirrorless cameras. It's like they're usually like, good size, and then the lens is this big, and it's like there's only so much you can use that on. So I don't know. But again, I'm more the guy to have my little tiny cameras.
Yeah, that's that's your thing, and it works really well for you.
Yeah.
You have beautiful content, so
Might need to expand my thing out even bigger, more
yeah,
stuff.
that's
Maybe.
and like I said, if that's something that you want to do, and I totally get that.
Well,
I
that's why I
totally get
haven't done
that.
it yet, though, because I just don't know if I need to. But
I
I do
mean,
notice people take you more serious, though, too. When you have a big camera with the
yeah,
fluffy thing around the
yeah,
microphone and stuff, people are like, "Wow, what do you do? Are you a YouTuber? Are you?" It's like you literally get that. Where with me, I'm like, "Yeah, here's my phone." They're like, "Ah, some jerk with his phone. What's he doing there?" It's like, little do
yeah.
they know, I've got more followers
I
than
was
most
gonna say,
camera. But
I was
I'm
gonna
kind
say
of on
that.
the down low with it. I just look like some nobody doing what who's holding the camera. So it is
I
fun.
honestly, when I used to do Twitch game videos and content, I used an Xbox as my gaming platform, whereas all the serious people on there, so quote unquote, were using PC, you know. And so when I went and switched to PC, I bought a cheap gaming laptop, and that's what I used for doing that. And I used another computer to carry my stream. And honestly, I was getting more views than what most of those people were, and getting more subscribers and making some money. And now I don't make any money doing any of it. I don't do it anymore because it's so taxing, and you're up all hours of the night and it's a grind. But I have a way more expensive computer right here that I just built, and for gaming and whatever I want to do with it. And I don't know. It's not making me money. It's for my own purpose, for my because I wanted to do it. So that's
Yeah,
what I would say for you. If that's something you want to do and you want to expand out, man, do it.
but the photographers don't like me though. So.
Well, they don't like you because you've got all those subscribers and all those views by doing something that they don't consider serious. And, they think they're the only game in town. The reality is they're using the same editing techniques and shit like that. Oh, pardon my language, and stuff like that is what you do. So, I don't
I
know.
do, I do like that though. I might add to my profile sometime iPhone photographer and put it enough that so that
I
that'll drive
hope
them
you
nuts.
do. I hope you
Okay,
do.
you're not a photographer. I'll be like, I'm a photographer. And
Oh,
as a matter of
gosh.
fact, I'm a professional photographer. I get paid for almost every picture I post.
Professional iPhone photographer.
Just to make a man. I'll
Professional
put a
photographer and videographer.
I'll put a little emoji wink in there. Like, I know what I'm saying.
That's even worse. That's even more rubbing it in. All right, John, where can they find you online?
You can find me at SeeWDW on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and C.UO on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, and you can find me at the Giant Rat, THEE Giant Rat, on all the socials, and that should do it for this one. We will see you on the next one.